Hey, welcome back. My name is Jabari Taylor, and this is 10 Minutes to $10,000, a series where we speak to business and finance content creators about how they saved/invested their first $10,000. Today, we're going to be speaking with John E. Finance, and we'll be talking about his story of how he got his first $10,000, how he saved it, what he did with it, and his struggles getting there. So, with that said, let's get straight to it. All right, cool. So, what was the source of income that you had that got you to your first 10,000?
So basically, when I graduated college, I was at like zero net worth. Like I didn't have any debt, thankfully, but I didn't have any assets built up. So I just started grinding. I got a job right out of college. I was an accountant.
Yeah.
And so
cool.
that's kind of how I started accumulating my first, $10,000 was just saving and basically just saving a bunch of money from my full-time job is how I got to my first 10,000.
Nice. Did you were you a CPA at all, or?
No, I wasn't like that type of an accountant. I was
Okay.
more like an auditor, just kind of making sure the books were
got
good. But like coming out of college, I was only making $46,000 a year.
Oh, okay.
And so it definitely took a little bit to save up that first $10,000.
Got it. So, how long did it take you to get to that first 10K?
I mean, I was super frugal. Like I was making
Nice.
sure I wasn't spending a lot. I still lived like a college student.
That's perfect.
And I would say, probably less than 6 months, I would say. I accumulated it pretty quickly.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely a good average. What was the age? What age?
I would have been, I guess, 23.
Okay,
Because I
nice.
graduated college like right as I turned 23. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it took you 6 months. You just saved everything, didn't spend
Pretty
anything.
much, yeah. I just kept my lifestyle low. I was, just saving as much as I could because I knew I wanted to get into that next like investment. I ended up buying a
Yeah.
duplex later on, but
Nice.
I had a goal to just save as much as possible.
What did you What was the biggest struggle getting to that first $10,000?
I think the biggest struggle would just be not inflating your lifestyle because when you come out of college, I was making practically minimum wage in college. And so when you come out making, almost $50,000 a year,
Yeah.
you're like, holy cow, like I'm making so much money. I can
Yeah.
go out to eat. I can, maybe finance a new car and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of my friends and peers did too.
Yeah.
So it's just, I would say the biggest struggle is just keeping your expenses low, knowing that all your friends and even family sometimes inflate their lifestyle.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just kept it cool. I was like, I'm going to live cheaply. And so, yeah, just not inflating your lifestyle is probably the biggest hurdle.
Okay, got it. And then what I was going to ask you, this is like an interesting thought too, is because you mentioned this, that you had only worked minimum wage jobs before that. What do you think actually kept you from getting to 10K before you had like the job that got you to 10K?
Yeah. So I was super, super lucky that my parents were helping me pay for tuition in college.
Yeah.
But I was responsible for room and board, books,
Yeah,
like all that
yeah.
stuff, like even just spending, food in general. So they did pay my tuition, which I'm super, super thankful for. But basically all my extra money from side jobs, from
Yeah.
my minimum wage jobs, was going to rent, was going to food, was going to just like, random college stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of graduated with no debt, but no assets either.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just
yeah.
like that, flat broke.
Yeah, it's good to hear from someone else that was like actually working through college and wasn't just doing whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So no, that's actually really interesting. The other thing I was going to ask you is, so basically, if you were to go back to before you had that 10K, what would you do to make it easier on yourself or make it get there faster?
To get there faster, yeah, I would just say make sure you're if you have a goal, like let's say you want to save $10,000, make it known to your friends and family, like, hey, this is my goal to get to $10,000. And if they know that goal, like they're gonna almost help you get to that goal.
Got it.
So they're not gonna be asking you to go out for like an $80 steak if they know you're trying to get to $10,000.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be like, yo, let's go get drinks, let's get Ubers, like all that stuff. They're gonna know, like, okay, like he's saving for something. They're saving for a goal. So I would just put it out there, put your goals out there, and people naturally want to help you. I think that would help.
No, that definitely makes sense. So after you got to the 10,000, did you ever go below it? Did you ever have a hiccup or anything that like took you and just like, crap, that was an emergency, you had to deal with it?
Honestly, no. I mean, I hit 10,000, and within another 6 months, I was at like 25,000.
That's a pretty common question.
Yeah.
Or not pretty common question, but that's a pretty common answer. Pretty much every single person I've asked so far, they've all said the same thing. Like once they got to 10,000, I think there was only one person that said like, oh yeah, like something else happened and like it really took them off. But normally it's the same thing of like, I got to 10,000 and it was like,
it was quicker to go to 20,000. It was quicker to go from 10 to 20 than 0 to 10. You know what I mean? And that's just like compound interest, like how that works. But I knew like my goal, like I said in the previous question, my goal was to buy a house, like buy a duplex and rent it out. That was my all-time goal. And so when I was saving up, I knew I wanted to save up like $25,000.
Yeah.
So when I hit that first 10,000, I was like, this is nothing. Like I'm still saving, 15,000 more. So I had that goal, and I knew I wasn't going to stop until then.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So, what'd you do with that 10,000? Was that cash, or did you put it in like investments?
Yeah. That's a really great question. That 10,000 that I saved up was pretty much all cash. To be honest.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't so much. I mean, I invested a little bit, just in simple index funds, maybe like a few stocks that I liked, but I was saving in all cash because I wanted to use it as a down payment for a home.
Yeah.
And so let's say I get the $25,000 and I'm ready to buy a home, but then it's invested and the stock market goes down, then it's like I can't buy a home with $15,000 if the market went down.
Which at the time, I mean, relatively, was that like part of the time of like the when the panorama started happening and like it could have potentially actually gone down?
Yeah. So actually, I ended up buying my house in July of 2020. So. It did go down in March, of 2020. Like the stock market went down severely in March. Luckily, I had all my money in cash, so I wasn't hurting at all.
That was the foresight there.
And it's like, I could have been investing and making like a higher return over a year of saving, but it just wasn't worth it to me because I knew the return on investment for a house hack or for a duplex would have been so much more than getting that like few percentage in investing in the stock market. So
got it.
I know a lot of people, they're like, where do I keep my fund for when I'm buying my first house?
Yeah.
I almost always say just a high yield savings account. Even though you get FOMO, you see people making 30, like 100% returns in the stock market.
Could be in crypto, could be in NFTs.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just not worth it because it could go down severely and you just never know. So that's why I recommend just holding cash for a house fund. Yeah.
Cool. So last two questions. Basically, if there were any, let's say 1 to 2 people that you think I should talk to next, who would you recommend?
I think a great story. Who I'm good friends with this person, Daniel Isles.
Okay, cool.
Have you interviewed him yet?
No, I haven't. I was actually thinking of him when you were talking about your like buying the house.
Yeah. He has a great story because I don't want to tell it for him, but he's really diligent. He's super smart. He's all about the work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And so he has a great story. So Daniel Isles, and then if I had to pick another one, I'd probably say Austin Hankwitz.
Okay.
He's big on TikTok as well.
Okay, cool.
I
actually literally just started hearing about him.
Okay, yeah. He started just like a basic TikTok like all of us, but he's grown it so exponentially, and he's built those systems to help him grow. So
okay, cool.
Both those guys I would definitely recommend.
All right, cool. Lastly, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok. I'm big on TikTok. I post nearly every single day on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. TikTok name is @JohnEFinance.
No Y.
Yes, John, the letter E, finance.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is John E Finance as well, and I've got a website as well, JohnEFinance.com.
Cool.
So.
And lastly, what about podcasts? Because
something
I learned
that's
today.
Right.
Like, no one. I feel like
right.
Yeah.
I do have a podcast with 2 other guys. It's called the Simple Money Guys Podcast, where we just chat about money, chat about life, what's going on. It's very, very laid back.
Yeah.
We've had Daniel on the podcast,
cool.
Dr. Brad. So we've had a lot of cool people on there as well. So definitely come check it out.
Nice. All right, cool.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jabari. Yeah.
That was a great interview with John. If you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to go follow him on all of his social channels. And if you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe on YouTube and on TikTok, because I will be creating more videos like this as I talk to more content creators. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.